everybody, here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentin. I hope you're all having a fantastic Friday, as always. We are, of course, coming to you live here from the Illinois Media School here in the O'Hare campus. I am so happy to be back here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a ton of stuff we got to talk about here, ladies and gents. And obviously, we had a more jam-packed show, but because I got some other stuff I got to get into, we're going to make this, as always, a short fuse Friday. Obviously, we keep this one short and sweet as much as we can, where we usually answer your questions. We go over some quick, quiet points. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, of course, as always, we appreciate you guys being the great fans that you guys are. We are always available, of course, too, on YouTube and on Twitch. That is at youtube.com/xbombsports and twitch.tv/xbombsports if you guys want to find us at any time when we are streaming. That is right now only on Fridays, going live at about 12:30, 1 o'clock p.m. Central Time. If you guys want to follow us at any more of our social media, you guys can find us at XBombSports on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and, of course, TikTok. Our boy Frankie finally getting back to cutting those clips, and, of course, too, questions, comments, things like that. You guys want to hit us up with any more of those? We have a few questions that we're going to answer here throughout the show. Just very quickly, you guys can hit us up, xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. And, of course, I'm joined by my guys, Scotty Kiefer. Scotty, how you doing, man?
What's going on, man? How are we?
Well, you were annoying the hell out of me before, but now I'm feeling better.
I'm just an energetic young lad who likes comedy. And Andrew just doesn't respect that.
He was showing me videos of monkeys, folks.
Dude, I saw a monkey riding a tricycle, and I was loving it.
Well, you know what? I guess in some regard, I'm glad you're so easily amused, my friend. But, Scotty, are you ready to do this, my man? All right, let's get to it. So, first thing we're going to do, and you'll probably hear the boys on Blow the Whistle, which, by the way, they're going to be going here very, very soon. So be sure to check them out at Blue T Whistle Radio. gmail.com if you guys want to hit them up with any questions, and as well at Blue T Whistle 1 on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and of course on Sportstown Chicago, where they're going to be going live, and I'm going to be joining them here very quickly. The Bears played a game this past Monday, their first game, in fact, of the season. Monday Night Football, they played the Minnesota Vikings, and what was a hopeful moment, shall we say, in the first half, that the Bears were maybe going to come out with a stupendous victory, potentially, and a good start to the season against a divisional rival, ended up, unfortunately, ending in tragedy with a 27-24 loss, as the Minnesota Vikings found a way in the fourth quarter to come back with J.J. McCarthy throwing 2 touchdowns and running one in for good measure to take the lead. Obviously, the Bears tried to make a comeback, but unfortunately, they just ran out of time. And look, on the surface value of what this game was for the Bears, I mean, let's just call it what it is. It was not a pretty look. It was not a good look for the team, right? Offensively, again, first drive, obviously scripted plays, looked very good. And they score, right? And periodically throughout the rest of the game, there was moments, shall we say, where the offense looked like, there it is. But there was also a lot of moments where you went, ooh, that's not what we're looking for at all, right? It was very much a lot more of the same that I think Bears fans at this point are very used to. And, of course, a lot of the fingers are being pointed at Caleb as to why this game was a problem, right? Which, listen, blunt honesty, he has to be better, right? He had a lot of overthrown passes. He had a lot of moments where he was off his mark. He scrambled outside the pocket a few times trying to make things happen when he didn't really necessarily need to, instead of pushing up into the pocket. There's a lot of things that certainly need to be worked on that you would hope by his second year would be fixed, right? There's no doubt that he has things he has to improve on. We have been stating that for months now on this show, on Blow the Whistle, on whatever show you might be watching of ours. We've been saying it constantly. But let's not pretend like he is the main culprit. He shares a part in the blame. Part of it also goes to Ben Johnson. There were some questionable play calls. There was certainly the going for it on fourth down was definitely a very questionable call, especially when you don't make it, right? It doesn't look good, you know. The defense, I get they were tired, a lot of 3-and-outs on the offense, but all the same, the defense at some point also looked like they lost a little bit of their fight towards the end. I know they're tired. I get that. But was Nashawn Wright doing all of his best effort to try and cover everybody? Was, everybody always hustling to the ball? Could nobody really have actually tackled J.J. McCarthy on that last run when he was going for the end zone? Nobody could really keep him out of there? There is a lot, I think, that contributes to the faults here. And I know it's easy to point the finger and say Caleb's the problem, but excuses though they may be, but they're the only thing that I have to go off of. You have a second-year quarterback with his third head coach in 2 years, a new offense, a new head coach, mind you, that too, in Ben Johnson, a newly formed offensive line with left tackle issues because I am still convinced that Braxton Jones is not the answer at that position, nor ever at that position, and will likely have to move in to be a guard where he can really be functional with a opportunity on the main stage on Monday night, under the lights, primetime game, playing against a divisional rival with a blitz-happy head defensive coordinator and Brian Flores, a very good defense, mind you, right? Facing off against a skilled offensive mind in Kevin O'Connell, who's very creative and will find ways to be able to scheme well for the game to beat your defense. And I will say this, too, for Caleb. At least from what I saw, perhaps people can maybe nitpick, if you will, and point out, I never saw him look frustrated, dejected. I never saw him hang his head. I saw a guy who looked like he was trying to fight to the very end. I mean, he throws the pass to Cole Kmet, then throws a strike to Roma Dunze in the end zone. It looked like a guy that was trying to still keep the team winning the game. So I don't know, where I'm standing from, I thought, yes, there's things he certainly needs to work on. That's the big thing first and foremost. But overall, just for first time in this offense as a quarterback, stats-wise, all that stuff, I didn't think it was the worst thing in the world. People are saying, oh, sky's falling, my world's ending. If that's the way you feel about this, if that's how your livelihood is changed because he didn't win a football game against the Vikings, that's kind of problematic, I think. But, to each their own. But I don't know. I thought it's a problem to a degree, not to the nth degree, but it's a small problem that needs to be corrected and fixed. Hopefully this weekend we will see what they do in week 2. It's a big matchup against Detroit. I don't know how they'll fare, but one can only hope that we will see improvements. It's mentor versus mentee, right? Essentially. So it'll be interesting to see what happens against the Lions, but all we can hope, I think all you can do, I would say again for Bears fans, keep expectations low, and when they rise to the occasion, you will find yourself being happier instead of feeling miserable. Scotty, final words you want to say for this on the Bears situation, just real quick?
I'm going to get this in quick, so you might have to react to a lot of what I'm about to say.
Please.
All in all, I think I actually walked out with a lot more positives in this game than I did negatives. I thought this was a different-looking Bears team, and that's a big positive. This did not look like the team that we saw last year. There was a lot of improvement on some guys out there, and I do think there's still that room for improvement. Again, this was the first game with a brand-new coach, and I don't want to seem like I'm making excuses, but there's a lot of factors that go into a loss like this. Kevin O'Connell has proven that he is a top-5 head coach in the NFL. Brian Flores is probably the #1 defensive coordinator in the NFL. It's very tough to go up against that Vikings defense week 1 with a lot of questions, and the Vikings create a lot of looks for quarterbacks that even some of the best struggle with. We've seen guys struggle against this Vikings defense, so Caleb being able to torch them a little bit for a short while, that could be seen as an improvement.
Yeah.
I think something to look at, people are applauding Caleb Williams' rushing ability. None of those are design runs. That's a little bit of a problem. Ben Johnson's going to want his quarterback to run his system. I think that I agree with you on the left tackle position. I think defensively, the Bears were down past their third corner in this game due to injuries. They were down a linebacker, and I don't want to blame. I'm not blaming the whole game on the refs, but there were two important calls. The Darnell Wright phantom holding absolutely killed the drive.
That was egregious.
And then the pass interference before the Aaron Jones touchdown, where the guy just tripped in front of him. And granted, Tyreek needs to let him up, but at the same time, that's not pass interference.
No.
You know, the referees weren't the best in this game. But, again, it wasn't the only reason why they lost this game. Caleb did miss a couple throws in some high moments, but quarterbacks are going to do that. I think it's a tough team to go up against week one, and at some point there's a lot of good that came out of that game that not a lot of people are talking about. I think the way they need to get the tight ends in more on offense, I thought the other side of the offensive line looked really good. The Bears didn't allow a sack until the fourth quarter. When did they ever do that? So there's a lot of positives that can come out of this. I feel like this game is more important and it needs to be under more of a microscope because it's against Ben Johnson's old team. The Vikings are such a struggle to play week one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, everything you said is 100% correct. I totally agree on that, especially with the defensive side of things. Like you said, linebacker missing, starting corner missing, your nickel corners missing. Noah Sewell, I still believe, is not an outside linebacker. I still think he's an inside guy. He's not a coverage guy. He doesn't fit that mold. He's a run stopper. Now, I know TJ Edwards is more maybe run stopper too than he really is coverage guy, but his speed allows him to be a better coverage guy than Noah Sewell is. Just from where I'm standing at, there are personnel decisions that need to be made, I think, with this team offensively and defensively that could help change the tides of the team. Overall, it's just really about go back to the blackboard, go back to the whiteboard, make corrections, figure out the mistakes, figure out the tweaks. This is going to be a working progress. I mean, I still have this team going 7-10 on the season, and I didn't even have them winning this Monday night game to start the year off anyways. So, yeah, it's a tough blow. But there's things that you can look to and say, you know what, if improvements are made, there is a line of success that can be had for this team, possibly still keep the season alive, or if anything, you can at least go, hey, if the offense continues to make improvements forward and forward and forward, that I think is the silver lining for you to then say, okay, maybe the season didn't end the way we wanted it to, but at least now we can see that there's progress being made on the side of the ball that the head coach is in charge of, and that's really what I think more people want to see than anything. Winning would be nice because that is obvious. When you create winning habits, that obviously helps fuel confidence and all that stuff, and I think that's important to note here too, right? The Bears have not been used to winning in a long time. Since Matt Nagy, they have not been to the playoffs in that amount of time. So they need to get back to the winning ways. They need to understand what it's like to win. That's the beauty of Kevin O'Connell with Minnesota. He knows how to win. He did it with Kirk Cousins. He did it with he did it with Sam Darnold. Now he's done it with J.J. McCarthy in his first game. Okay?
I'm gonna make 2 quick points for you real quick.
Please.
One, I think it takes a while to buy into Ben Johnson's offensive scheme. I remember that Lions team on offense absolutely struggling.
Took them 3 years.
Because it took them like maybe 1.5 to like buy in and understand it. But to fully get it, I would agree with that. It takes a minute. Ben, he needs complete trust by all the guys. And I'm not saying this because I don't like the Vikings. I do like the Vikings. And I do like J.J. McCarthy. But I think we are overblowing his performance just a little bit because he did struggle that first 3 quarters.
He was below average to average for the first 3 quarters. And then the fourth quarter
he was good.
Yes. And a lot of that was Justin Jefferson getting open looks.
I would agree.
Guy got open. He's one of the best receivers. Helped a lot.
Aaron Jones touchdown. Broken coverage. A average quarterback should be able to recognize broken coverage and throw the ball.
Yes.
I am I'm a little bit of a disbeliever in J.J. McCarthy. I just don't think he's as good as people think he is going to be. I think at best he could just be what he was at Michigan, which was a game manager.
Yeah.
And I just think that was a little bit of an overreaction that we saw based on the fourth quarter he had because I think people forgot about what happened in the first 3.
Yeah.
That interception he threw that was taken back for the first pick six of the year, by the way, was awful. It was awful. That was a terrible read, and that stuff needs to be talked about with him more. And I hope the Vikings go back and look at it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And look, again, this is all stuff that can easily, I believe, be fixed. It's just a matter of and this is all on if Ben Johnson is that coach, if he has the proper coaching staff that we all believe him to have, and it feels like he does, this should all be stuff that could easily be mended on the within the roster, outside of, I think, just Trujillo and a few other, like I said, Sewell kicking into the inside, and I think Edmonds kicking to the outside, Trujillo going to right tackle, and Darnell Wright going to left tackle and bumping out Braxton Jones. It's things like that that would have to be more on the coaching side of making those moves. But scheme-wise, things like that, timing, all of that, I would have faith to say that they will figure it out. Yeah, you said it. It was not until a year and a half where it clicked. It took 3 years for it to finally actually work. So think about that. And again, consider what happened with Jared Goff, right? Jared Goff was with Sean McVay, arguably one of the best coaches still in football, right? His stats were very kind of pedestrian for a quarterback. Good, but not great. He goes to the Lions. His numbers vastly improved.
Vastly improved after a year and about a half. That first year when they went,
it was rough.
They were going to go 0-16. It was rough.
It was rough.
That next year, it took about halfway through the year for it to all start really working.
But when it clicked,
it became the best offense in football.
Exactly. So, not much to worry about there, folks. Okay. But thank you. We appreciate it, as always, to the Bears. We'll see what they do this weekend. Should be interesting. It's the Lions. It's another hard fight. All right, let's move into some questions here. So this one, we were going to talk more about the NFL, but I don't got time for that. We'll do that maybe next week.
I think I just wanted to ask you this. Is that going to end up being the game of the year on Sunday night?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
You listen. Just briefly, so yeah, Ravens up 40-25 against the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills come back to win it 41-40. By the way, that was the backup kicker, correct? Because Bass was out.
Matt Prater signed on the Thursday.
There you go. So I was just making sure that was confirmed. So just kicker coming off the street, basically signing on to the team, kicks the game-winning field goal. They propped him up on the shoulders like you'd see in the movies. Rightfully deserved. Josh Allen right now, front runner for the MVP, best quarterback in football. But guess what? Lamar Jackson not too far behind, and I would dare say Derrick Henry should be second at MVP because, holy cow, he is the best. Sorry, Saquon, he's the best running back in the NFL at this point in time. That was a performance.
Fumble didn't matter. That's just going to happen. Lamar did absolutely nothing wrong to lose them the game.
Yeah.
He put it in the hands of their guys. They didn't get the first down. That's not his fault.
No.
And Matt Prater is also an all-time legend. Let's not act like this is a guy just off the street. He is one of the best kickers in NFL history.
Yes, no. Matt Prater is one of the best kickers in the last 10, 20 years. So.
Josh Allen is on pace to throw for 4,500 yards and 51 touchdowns if he just plays the fourth quarter.
That's great.
If he just plays the fourth quarter.
That's insane. Absolutely insane. Wow. Okay. Right now, that's got to be game of the year. And it's crazy that happened in week 1. So somebody better step up. I'm talking to you, Miami and Patriots. Ugh. All right. So this first question, this actually came from our guy, Paul. Paul, we appreciate the question. Paul's from Iowa City. Paul actually asked us a couple of questions, two pertaining to baseball, but I'm going to save those for another show in particular at a later point. But he did ask us one because we had recently talked about the UFC, and believe it or not, our boy Scotty on AJ Valentin's Spitting Out Sports, my blog. My man Scotty Kiefer's been writing some articles, ladies and gentlemen. You should go check out the recent one that he did previewing the fight night that is coming up between Diego Lopez and Jean Silva. Profiling the fighting nerds, correct?
Yeah,
that's his camp.
John Silva's from the camp of the fighting nerds.
The fighting nerds,
and they've been
correct.
Losing recently.
In Brazil, yes, they've been having some struggles. So definitely go check that out, guys. But Paul basically was wondering who our favorite UFC fighters are. I wasn't sure if he meant current or of all time, so I guess I'll kind of stretch it to that. So personally myself, I will say, I mean, I have a listen. I could go on a list of all of them. 2 favorite fighters of all time for me, just on the top, are the guy that got me into it really, which was Silva. I mean,
Anderson
Silva. I just figured saying his last name, like, what else do I need to say? Anderson Silva's one of these.
Just get done talking about John Silva.
I know, there's a lot of Silvas. I know. I just said a Silva. I know. But Anderson Silva, absolutely one of, if not maybe the greatest MMA fighter of all time. I know that's an argument that can be made forever and ever and ever, right? But the guy that I would say then is maybe the greatest MMA fighter in the history of the sport, Georges St-Pierre. I love him as a fighter. I ever since I've watched him in the early days of the UFC when it was on Spike TV, same with Anderson Silva, watching those two guys, it made me fall in love with the UFC and MMA and want to watch the sport more. So I credit those two guys with not only capturing my interest, but I think becoming 2 of the best in the history of this sport and really making the company even more so what it is, because of one being a showman and a tactician and the other one just being an all-around beast of a human being that could just kind of throw down in all different kinds of ways. As of currently, I mean, there's a lot of guys I really like. Topuria, I'm a fan of his. I like what he brings to the table, and the guy is tough. I'll give him that. He is tough as nails. He is hard to crack through. Tom Aspinall, too. I just like the fact that he's talking smack. Well, not really even talking smack. He's talking smack by not really even talking smack and getting John Jones all riled up for, like, no reason. Which, by the way, we've now learned John Jones will not be a part of the White House UFC event. That is not apparently taking place on July 4th.
It's going to take place in June. And it will be on the White House lawns.
Yes.
Still. By the way, he also announced 90,000 people are expected to go.
There's no way.
No. Listen.
There's no way.
5,000 in the White House gates. Now, I will say probably not a lot of fans. You probably need some sort of credentials to get in there. But 90,000 will be able to be outside of the UFC, outside of the White House.
Well, I guess you probably can get that many people. It just feels like a very large number for a lot of people to be standing around watching the fight. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. When you can watch it on TV, watch it on a streaming site, particularly one that might be free, that, yes, is out there and still alive with you, SE.
Hey, watch it.
They don't know. What, am I the one running it? Who knows who's running it? All right. Other guys I like, though, I'm always been a big fan of Max Holloway. I know there's a lot of people that sometimes get annoyed with him, but I just always thought he was a solid fighter, honestly, myself. I know he's got a little bit of, like, that nasally whining. I don't know. I always have been a fan of his. He's wiry, let's say that. And then he's a local guy. He's Bilal Muhammad. No, not a fan. I like Bilal. I liked him. I've always liked him. He's a good dude. I've been able to talk to him before. I think he's talented. I think he, I wish he would get better opportunities. I hope he does maybe here in the future. I know he's kind of rising up the rankings, but we'll see. He's been fighting his butt off. So those are some of my favorite guys as it stands right now. I mean, there's a lot of guys too. I mean, even in my heart of hearts, like him or hate him, I do have an affinity for Sean O'Malley too. The gimmicky kind of stuff that he does, and the kind of, like, trying to be the next, what's his name, the Prime Minister? No, I'm sorry, he's trying to be Prime Minister of Ireland. What's his name again, Scotty? Do you remember? Yes, Conor McGregor. Yes, that's it. That's it. Yes, Conor McGregor. Yes, he's got a little bit of that showmanship to himself. So those are just a few of the guys myself personally I like. What about for you, man?
For me, all time, Conor is my favorite fighter of all time. Not the person, the fighter. I go back and watch his Cage Warriors fights. I go back and watch all of his underground fights. I just loved his style. I was close with Damian Maia, who's a all-time UFC not a champion, but he is a legend in the UFC.
Absolutely.
So I grew up watching when his fights were on, and I've talked to his trainers and stuff. I like currently my favorite fighters are the Fighting Nerds. I love their style. I love their gimmick. I love the way they analyze fights. I absolutely love them. I've been heartbroken over the last couple months and last week. I don't like French people. Other than that, I love Tom Aspinall as well. I've been on the Tom Aspinall train since he came back from his leg injury. I love Sean. I love Pantoja. And I think there's another fighter that once he retires, he will get onto the Conor McGregor stage for me, where I'll go back and just keep watching his old fights. That's Alexander Volkanovski.
Yes.
I love cooking with Volk. He's a really good chef in the kitchen. I like the way he makes steaks. And I also like the way that he, absolutely just destroys people at his age. He's getting up there and still proves that he's that guy.
Oh, absolutely.
I love Topuria, but I hate the man for destroying all the people that I did like.
I was going to say.
It's a love-hate relationship.
It's like I can feel the vitriol in your voice towards him, but I know you have to respect it.
You have to respect it, but, dude, don't do that to Volk. Don't do that, please. Leave him alone.
Leave Volk alone.
Leave him alone. I like Pantoja. I think he's very underrated.
Yes.
He's pure dominance. And then I like DDP. I think just because he's goofy.
That's fair.
There's a lot of guys I like, though. Like, I will just sit there and watch a lot of different fights.
That's the thing. Everybody brings their own different style and their
Absolutely.
own different energy to it. And I think you can find a long list of dudes for all of us that we can say, we like this guy for this reason and we like this guy for that reason. Like, it's interchangeable for sure.
Yeah. And I would say those are all my top guys. Connor's at the top. Volk's going to get there. The Fighting Nerds, Tom, and Sugar.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, absolutely. And
Shout out Paul. Thanks, Paul.
yeah, there you go. And I will say, of the legends, too, for me, because he's a legend here of Illinois, Matt Hughes. Just the nicest dude in the world, and yet he looks like he could lift me over his head with one arm and just slam me into the ground like Bam Bam from the Flintstones. Like, seriously.
Now, no one asked what fighters we don't like, because if you do, Andrew's show is going to get canceled.
We're going to be here for a while then.
Andrew's show will get canceled if you
Because
guys
Scotty's
ask
got words.
who we don't like.
And I've already kind of made my feelings noted about guys I don't like in the past. One of these days we'll do one. We may need to put a bit of a muzzle on Scotty because we've had talks before.
Ian Gary. John Jones.
Oh, John Jones. Don't even get me started on Strickland, man. Don't even get me started on that dummy. But thank you so much, Paul, for the question. We appreciate it. We will answer your questions, by the way, too, for baseball, as well as some of these other questions at a later date. And then finally, too, another question that we had before we get to the pick six. This came from our guy, Trevor. Trevor is hitting us up from good old Indianapolis, Indiana. He said, tomorrow night is the night for the fight that could be of all ages for boxing. Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. This could be a huge historic moment in the world of boxing. He basically said, who you got, how do you think it happens, if you got a way of how you think it happens.
I mean, it's boxing, so everyone's going to be hyping it, and then it's going to turn out to be nothing. So,
Don't say that.
no, I mean, I'm just.
Please don't
I don't
say
like
that.
boxing that much, and I do
That's
think
fair.
that's what's going to happen. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be a lot less enjoyable than people actually think it's going to be. But because it's free, I'll enjoy it. I think Canelo all around is probably better, but I think I would like to see Terrence Crawford win.
It would be. It's tough because
It's hard to go against Canelo.
It's
I'm
the
going
thing.
to pick and bet on Canelo to win, but dang it, I want to see Crawford win.
Crawford wins. He is the only boxer in history, if I remember this correctly, to have unified titles over 3 different weight classes. No one else has ever done that. And he's undefeated too, mind you that. So he continues to creep closer and closer to staying undefeated and getting closer to Floyd's record, right? Which is kind of something that is under the radar, but people are obviously keeping a watchful eye on. He said, too, also when he was asked, because he's getting $10 million where Canelo's getting $150, He said, money doesn't matter. This is the opportunity of a lifetime to fight one of the greatest when we are both at our peak and our prime. I love that. I love that. That tells me that this is going to be Battle of Warriors. Because these are two guys that, by the way, I don't know, Scotty, you probably know this. Anytime you hear a dude that's a fighter, MMA, boxing, doesn't matter, you hear a guy go, I just really thank God for the opportunity. That guy will kill you. That guy will possibly kill you. Both of these guys are those kind of dudes. So we may witness somebody just go down hard. So this might go the distance. I hope it doesn't go to a split decision. I think this is the kind of fight that, yes, you would love a trilogy, and I think that's what they want to gauge to, but I think you have to find a winner in this one. You have to come to a decision on who wins this thing. And I know boxing, fixing, all that stuff, I get it. I know the history. We all know the history. But I think this has the opportunity to be one of the all-time great fights. I'm saying, I'm personally going to say, though, Canelo. I'm going to say 9th round with about a minute and a half left, TKO, right hook. Just catches Crawford after a string of a couple straights and a couple hits, a couple jabs, put some combos in on Crawford, and then boom, just hits him with the right hook. That's how I'm going to see that one go. So
I like that they're both talking. Like, they're both, like, kind of talking. They're good in press conferences. These interviews have been great. And I'm going to go back a little bit to the MMA segment. I love the fighters that are talkers.
Yes.
Like, that's why I kind of do like the build-up to this, because they both are talking and, like, actually jabbing at each other before the fight even begins. But I love the talkers of the MMA world as well. You know, like Moicano, who's always they understand that the press conferences are where they're going to make fans.
You have to sell the fight.
You have to sell the fight.
Yes.
And I love those type of guys.
And these two guys have been selling the fight. And what helps too, obviously it's on Netflix, right? So if you have Netflix, you can watch it at any level. You don't have to pay extra to get it. At the same time, too, Netflix has been doing a documentary following these guys around for the anticipation for the fight. So that has been helping to build the momentum for this thing. It's already a big fight. It's already one of the biggest fights maybe in the last 20, 30 years. But everything is charging up to what I think this could be a momentous moment in the history of boxing. Right there with Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, right? I think it could be on that level, that kind of fight. That's what we could see out of these guys for sure.
Before we get into the pick six, Andrew, quick thing.
Yeah.
Browns 5th round pick Shadur Sanders is reportedly not getting any practice reps.
I did see that.
Not even on the scout team.
Yes.
Tony Rizzo said, I'm hearing Shadur isn't even running scout team. He's literally watching everyone. Bailey Zappi is running scout team.
That tells me, to me, I know people are going to jump to the conclusion, oh, he's being blackballed. Oh, to me, that says obviously they trust Bailey Zappi and they trust the other quarterbacks to run the offense. They're not ready to hand over the reins to him just yet because maybe he's not grasping it. He just doesn't have it. He just doesn't get it just yet. It doesn't mean he can't. It doesn't mean that they won't. It just means I think maybe as of right now, they want to give the other guys a better look. But I get it. If you want to jump to those other conclusions, I can't stop you. I know we're kind of at a point now where anything goes in terms of people's minds and opinions and da-da-da-da-da-da. I get it. So, yeah, you know what? And also, it's Cleveland, guys. Did you think they're going to make the right decision? No, of course not. It's Cleveland. Just saying it's Cleveland should be enough. Their river catches on fire more than anybody else's. Point to order. I rest my case. Also, the whole city smells like hot dog water. We're never going to be allowed back in Cleveland, and it's gonna be my fault. I apologize.
Thoughts of Andrew are not representative of me.
Yes.
I would like to go to Cleveland because I want to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes, it is. I've never been there.
Andrew will not be allowed back, but please invite me.
Probably not. The dog pound will beat me into the ground. You got to catch me first, but, you know. All right, folks, let's do this real quick. Let's get into it. It is time for the Pick Six. I picked the top 6 games. I know there's more games going on here. I know you got Texas A&M, Notre Dame. Yeah, you got Vanderbilt and South Carolina. Those were some games that I was looking at, too. I will say this. If you want to play if you want to play some games here, I'm going to go ahead and say Miami beats the 17.5 against South Florida and just pummels them. I think that Texas A&M, they get, plus 6.5, I think it was, on the points. Give them the points. And then for Vanderbilt against South Carolina, I would say Vanderbilt gets the points. I like that. If you want to throw that in your next little parlay, by all means, go for it. So let's do the pick six here then. So we're going to start this one off with, I believe this is, yes, Clemson against Georgia Tech. Number 12, Clemson against Georgia Tech. So Clemson right now is 2.5-point favorites. The over-under's at 51.5. Scotty, who are you taking for this one, man?
This is an important one for Clemson because it's always tough playing Georgia Tech at home or on the road, for that matter. Georgia Tech is a team that likes to fight when they're at home. But I feel like this needs to be a statement win for Clemson. I'm going to give them the 2.5. I think they could pull it out even with a late field goal, but I am going to take the under in this one. I think this could be a really big defensive game, but we might be walking out of it questioning a guy like Cade, where the offense just didn't look as sharp, and I think that Clemson could still pull it out, though.
I agree with it. I will say Clemson as well. I'll say Clemson by a field goal as well, too. I think this hits the under, though. Georgia Tech's defense is pretty good. Georgia Tech also has done a really good job at being able to control the clock, run the ball very well. I'm interested to see, though, how effective Clemson's offense can now be now that they've had 2 games to kind of get themselves rolling after their kind of tune-up game here. So we'll see if Cade Klubnik and this offense can kind of get themselves into mode. I don't have any questions about the defense. It's really just coming down to, can the offense get going, and can they start establishing a run game too? That has helped them a lot over the years in the Dabo-Swinney offense, getting in a run game established in order to help make sure that the passing game is there. So I'll take Clemson by a field goal, but I'll take the under on this one because I don't really know. That's a tough Georgia Tech team, and it's in Atlanta too. I know Clemson's played there before, but still, that's their home turf. All right, next game we have the other Georgia team. It's number 6 Georgia against number 15 Tennessee. Rivalry matchup, battle for the ages right now. Georgia favored by just 3.5, and the over/under is now up to 50.5, jumped up a little bit by a point from 49.5. Scotty, who are you taking for this?
I would like a nuke to fall on an island stadium.
Okay, outside of your own personal feelings.
I don't trust this Tennessee team. I know they looked really good against Syracuse. I don't. It's not because I'm a Florida fan. Trust me, I'm going to complain about Florida here in a minute.
Okay.
I don't trust this Tennessee team. I don't trust what they have at quarterback. I don't trust their coaching. I think their defense can be depended upon, but not for an entire game and against a strong offense like Georgia. I know this hasn't looked like the Georgia of old, but I still trust them more than I believe in this Tennessee team. Give me Georgia. I don't know if they cover that, but I am going to take the over in this one, I think.
Okay. I'm going to take Tennessee on this. I would take Tennessee. I don't trust.
Is this at night?
No, 2:30 p.m.
All right, Georgia's winning.
Okay. I'm still going to take Tennessee. I like the way their offense has looked this far. I don't know if Aguilar, look, this is going to be a tough opportunity, right? This is still a top 10, top 5 defense in college football with Georgia. But I have questions about their offense. I think Gunnar Stockton, in some regard, is better than Carson Beck, but I don't think their receiving core has necessarily taken the steps that are needed in order to improve. They need to get Nate Frazier going as far as the running game goes, and that's something that they still need to really start establishing ASAP in order to, I think, fully enhance themselves and fully make themselves stronger. I just have a lot of questions for Georgia. I don't know if they're going to be an 11-1 team by the end of the season. I think they're going to be more 10-2, possibly 9-3. I just think there's going to be a lot of moments that they're going to have on the they're going to be in the game, and then ultimately bits and pieces are going to come apart and they're going to lose it. So I trust their defense. It's their offense that I just don't trust. And as far as Tennessee goes, Tennessee will have mistakes, don't get me wrong, but I look at their offense and think it's still explosive. They still have a lot of pieces. Their defense themselves is still pretty shut down. They have a first-round pick corner in McCoy. I like the way that they look right now as a team. I don't know if they're going to be winning a national championship, but I think they're talented enough to make the college football playoff and challenge for the SEC championship. So I'll take Tennessee. I will take them. I might give them a full touchdown on this, and I will I'll take the under on it. I think Georgia's defense can do the work. I just don't know if I don't know if their offense can. That's the problem. All right, next game we got. It's Arkansas traveling again to number 17. Ole Miss, baby. Right now, Ole Miss is favored by 6.5. The over-under's at 62.5. Who you taking with this one, man?
You know what game this reminds me of? The Texas A&M game where they went to like so many overtimes and the score was 74-72. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Oh yeah, it was LSU. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I thought it was Tennessee.
Torturous night for me, I have to say. Fun, but torturous.
This over is going to hit, I think, pretty convincingly, and I think it's a pretty convincing win for Ole Miss. I think Arkansas is a tough team to go against, but I trust Ole Miss a little bit more in this one.
Okay. I think I might take Arkansas for the upset. I like Austin Simmons a lot. Love his story, by the way. Love the fact that this kid already has a bachelor's degree at 19. Love the fact that he graduated early. All that stuff is great. He's still growing up, though, as a quarterback. That's the biggest thing. And I think he still needs to maneuver himself into that position a little bit more. He's talented. But he needs to mature and grow more as a quarterback goes. Okay? Also with that, too, Arkansas's offense is very fast. No one gives enough credit to Green, their quarterback. He's quick. Now, he could be Cam Newton 2.0, but there's a little bit of something missing, that extra, oomph that Cam Newton had. But this kid could be it. He could be the guy that gets Arkansas into the rankings and becomes competitive. They have a good enough team, I think. So I'll take Arkansas. I'll take them by 4, I'll say. Let's give them 4 points. And I agree with you. I think this game hits the over. I think it hits the over. I think Lane Kiffin loses this game, and I think this is kind of where people start going, is Lane the answer? Nothing against Lane Kiffin. Of course he's the answer. He's helping you win. It's can he get you to the college football playoff is going to be the question. I don't know if he can. That's the only issue. So, yeah, Arkansas, you get the win in my book. All right. Yep, it's that time. It's Florida taking on the number 3 LSU Tigers. It's my team versus Scotty's team that we root for. As it stands right now, LSU is favored by 7.5. The over-under, though, only at 46.5. So, Scotty, who you taking, man?
First off, I told you at the beginning of the year.
You did.
I said there's no reason why this Florida team should be ranked so high.
You did.
Because they are so unproven. And then they go out last week and absolutely poo their pants in front of South Florida, in front of the Swamp. I couldn't even react. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I don't understand how LSU's not favored higher. I think this game by the 8-minute mark of the first quarter will be 14-0 LSU. Because look, trust me, this isn't just because I'm upset at Florida. I don't trust everything about this team. I trust the defensive line who likes to, spit on people, and then I trust DJ. That's about it.
Okay.
I don't trust anything else on this Florida team yet. Their wide receiver core is decent and will maybe keep pace, but I see LSU jumping out to an early lead and not looking back. I think the closest Florida can make this is 10. I'm going to take the over on this one, and I'm taking LSU because I have no hope in this team right now. I think Billy needs to go.
Okay. Shocking as it may be to people, I'm actually going to take LSU too. Whoa. I know. Wow, I know. I think there's a good shot this could be a shootout between the two quarterbacks. I do like Florida's wide receivers between Brown and Wilson. I think those are two guys that have NFL caliber in themselves. They just need to be released. And I look, DJ Lagway has NFL caliber himself. There's no doubt. The kid has all the capabilities of leading Florida to being a top team. It really does come down to the defense making sure they're shored up, and quite frankly, too, it's also about Florida, I think, needing to move at a faster pace, and that's just not Billy Napier's style. If they did, they would just be able to, I think, get a lot more advantage on teams. And I think that comes from just a culture dysfunction that's coming from Billy Napier. So I'll take LSU. I'll take them by 10. I will take them by the over, but the over slightly because LSU's offense has kind of been stuttering here and there over the last two games. Even against Louisiana Tech, they did not look at their best in certain points. So I would trust Florida to still keep themselves in the fight in this one, but I don't know if LSU can necessarily put it over just yet. I think there's still a lot more that needs to be worked out. I have an article right now I'm working on for the Spitting Out Sports blog where I'm putting together the group of guys that I think can replace Billy Napier for Florida. I'm putting that group together. By the way, the guy I have that's perfect for your replacement, Scotty, for your team, I hope you like him because he is probably the best coaching candidate out there that nobody's going to be talking about. It's not Urban Meyer. I promise you that. He's on the list, but he's not Urban Meyer. But he is. I would say this. He's a guy that not only will improve Florida by being the youth and the energy, but he's also somebody who then hurts a rival of theirs by coming away. And I'll leave it at that.
I'm also going to add this. Since you put out a parlay,
Yeah.
I would like LSU first quarter spread at like 10. I think they jump out to an early lead.
Okay.
I do. I think they jump out to a huge early lead, and Florida can't catch up.
Okay. All right. Next, we've got, this is just a quick one I kind of saw because I like this match. Well, here's the reason why. I get that, but here's the reason why. It's Menza playing against his old team. It's Jake Retzlaff. Obviously, he didn't go to Duke, but this is a intriguing quarterback matchup, I think, between two very athletic guys, two teams whose offenses, I think, have actually taken good steps forward, and I think could actually end up being a pretty good game. So right now, as it stands, Tulane is the favorite by 1.5. The over-under is at 51.5. I know, Scotty, you're a little confused by this, but I'll ask you, man, how do you see this one going?
I think this Tulane team, this is a game that gets them ranked. They get a really impressive win to get them ranked. I'm not upset that you picked it because of the Tulane side. I love what I'm seeing out of Tulane. It's the Duke side. I don't understand why they're getting the hype right now. I don't know why they're getting the looks that they are. I think Tulane can win this one by 10. I don't understand how it's close. I think this could be a Tulane by 10, and the over being 51. Nah, I don't know if I can get there. Under.
Okay, I like that. I may go with Duke.
I really don't get it. You got to sell me on Duke.
It's the connection that Menza has with his wide receiver, Barcady, okay? Barcady is, I think he could be like a Cooper Kupp type of wide receiver. Just under the radar, not going to get highly drafted, but he runs great routes, has amazing hands. He's very smart, very capable. I like the fact that they've kind of gone back to their old ways when, you're talking about when they were underneath Cunliffe, who was their coach, and they were kind of like, let's throw this ball all over the place. Their defense is actually very sharp. They do a great job at blitzing the quarterback. I don't know. Tulane's good, and they'll put up a fight. I just don't know if Jake Retzlaff, he's going to get pressured a lot in this game, and he's going to be asked to run the ball a lot. And Duke does a great job at swarming to the ball. So I'll take Duke on this one by 2.5. We can go a full field goal even on this one, too. I think it's a close game. I think this one could hit the over. I think it has a good shot to hit the over. Just slightly. Just slightly.
I will watch this game, but you're going to have to sell me on Duke because I have not been impressed.
I understand and I get it. There's a lot to still be desired with this team. I'm not saying, hey, this is the SMU, this is the BYU, this is the Boise State that's going to go to the college football playoff. I'm just intrigued by the quarterback, the wide receiver they have there, and I'm intrigued by how they've been playing thus far. Personally, myself, I thought that they've done a decent job in the first 2 weeks.
I'll watch it. You're going to have to sell me because it's not that I don't like Duke. I like Duke. I don't see the hype behind them.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing I said with Tennessee. I don't trust anything that they got. I just don't understand where the hype is coming from with them. So I'll watch to try to see what you're seeing, but walking into it, I don't see it.
I mean, listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will fully admit that. I've never been embarrassed on that. So if they fall through, hey, cool. All right. So obviously, this is the last game we have. Real quick before we talk about this, I just want to say very quickly for you, even though I kind of mentioned it for my own parlay, A&M versus Notre Dame, how do you see it going? Because A&M is favored.
Notre Dame needs it. Notre Dame needs this
They
win.
do need it, for sure.
They really need this
But
win.
how do you see it going?
They got to get Love involved more, and I like him against the Texas A&M run stopping ability.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see Texas A&M win this one late and kind of steal it.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna go. Is it in College Station?
I think this was in South Bend, if I'm correct.
It's in South Bend.
If I'm correct.
It's in South Bend. I'm gonna go Notre Dame.
I will pull that up just very quickly just to confirm.
No, they are in South Bend. Last year they were in College Station.
Yes, they are in South Bend this year.
All right, so give me Notre Dame.
Okay. All right. I'm still gonna take Texas A&M. Just I gave him, listen, on my parlay, I gave him the points. I would even go as far to say, if you want to, maybe put it on the money line. I think that A&M just walks away with a victory on this one by a touchdown, beating the points. Reed has really impressed so far as a quarterback. They look like they have figured out whatever issues. Elko, again, from Duke, coming to A&M, kind of starting to fit the mold for what the SEC is trying to, what he's getting into that area where you can say, he might be building something. Not national champions. I don't even know if they're going to beat Texas. But can you beat Notre Dame?
I can see it.
Well, and then the problem is that Notre Dame, the late starts are the issue. Mm-hmm. You can't keep going down so early and then expect, we're going to come back and win.
I think it'll be pretty even. And look, I'm taking Notre Dame just because I'm leaning them.
Yeah.
Because I kind of trust them more. I think they're still a little bit unproven about Texas A&M, but they're like you said, they're starting to get it. Elko's starting to get it for the SEC. But I definitely could see Texas A&M stealing this one late.
They're pretty even when you look at them. Quarterbacks kind of feel like they cancel each other out, even though they do different things. Running game, Love definitely takes the cake on that one for sure. Offensive line's the same. Defenses feel the same. I would say Freeman's the better coach, but at the same time, Elko's done a pretty good job. Even from last year, I would give him some credit, some props. And I know it didn't go great, but he did have some good coaching moments. So it could cancel each other out there. So this like you said, this could come down to, you got to get Jeremiah Love into the game. Like, you got to get him into the game. Not just Adarian Price. You got to get Love going. You get Love going, you're probably going to win the game. But I'll say A&M. All right, let's do the last game. Let's do it. It's the only NFL game I could find that was worthy of actually talking about as far as a good game, because it's the Super Bowl repeat, right? Philadelphia, it's in Kansas City, right? It's in Kansas City. And as it stands right now, Kansas City is not the favorite. Shocking, shocking, shocking. Yeah, I know. It is the Eagles, but only a 1.5. And the over-under is at 46.5. Scotty, who you got?
Real quick, I do want to just touch on two games that I think are going to be cool.
Please.
Seahawks-Steelers. I think that's an intriguing game.
That could be good.
Based off of how the Steelers played on offense. I know you had that in the rundown. We were going to talk about it. But
Yeah.
I think that's an intriguing game to look at. And then also that for some reason that Sunday Night Football game got so much better.
Yeah,
after,
it did.
After week 1, the Sunday Night Football between the Falcons and Vikings got a lot more appealing to watch. Because going from Ravens to Bills, Bills to Vikings Falcons was a huge step off. But this just let it up a little bit more.
It does definitely get a lot more intriguing. And the Steelers, listen, after what we saw, you never know. You never know what you're going to get. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers looked pretty good out there. Looked pretty good. Yeah. We'll see.
As for this one, EAG, LES, Eagles are the best. Give me, they could win by a touchdown, I think, at most. I think casually, I'll go them winning by a field goal. Okay. Casually, give me the under on this one just because it is going to be a tight game. It's going to be a defensive game. I think the struggles on the Chiefs side of the offense are real this year. It's not an overreaction. It's not the Chiefs don't look like they used to. No, this is an actual going to be a problem for them that the offense is not performing. They're aging and not bringing in anyone to really help. I think Worthy being out is going to be a problem. We saw it was in Brazil. Shout out to the national anthem in Brazil. That was sick. But no, Eagles, convincingly.
I'm on the Eagles side, too. I would like to have said the Chiefs, but I'll say Eagles by 6. I like them on there. I will take the under because I have my reservations about Jalen Hurts because those DBs for Kansas City are still strong. They could.
I could see the Eagles getting like 2 touchdowns in the first half, and then they kind of coast to a couple field goals and a touchdown in the second half.
Yeah.
I could see that.
They could. I also know, though, the Eagles right now are kind of beat up, right? They're a little beat up. They're still trying to get their feet underneath them and still get recovered. Some guys, apparently, they were beating each other up over camp, and in the preseason they had some guys that were dealing with stuff. So and I just don't know where Jalen Hurts is at in terms of I think he's a top 10 quarterback possibly, but on the lower side of it at 9 or 10. So I don't know.
I don't got him there. I got him at 5.
Yeah, you could put him at 5. I just don't.
Super Bowl MVP. 2 great performances in the Super Bowl.
Listen, I'm not going to discredit for what he did. It's just it's very hard for me when you've got the relief of obviously A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Saquon Barkley around you to kind of help. And I'm not taking anything away from the fact that he has talent around him. That's what you need to do, right? Provide talent around your quarterback. That's a no doubt. But I think when the pressure's on him at times, he can sometimes not deliver the way that you need him to. So it could be a tough one. This is really going to come down to, I think, Kansas City's defensive backs taking on the wide receivers, right? Shutting those guys down, forcing Saquon to make the plays, running the football. If they do that, Kansas City's got a shot. But I still have the Eagles winning by 6. If the passing game's going, though, like you said, they could ride and coast. This could get away from the Kansas City Chiefs very easily. They need to get these receivers healthy ASAP.
I got one thing on the Eagles, and then I got to get into something about the Dolphins real quick because reports are coming out about them. But let me say this. The fact that Jalen Carter is playing in this game is crazy because how does he get a 1-game suspension, but then you say he already served it for being ejected from the game? That doesn't make sense. So he didn't get suspended for a game, basically.
No,
you didn't give him a suspension.
I would say that does not count.
No, that shouldn't count. That's stupid.
That's the time served thing that you hear in courts all the time.
Stupid. I will say this: the reports are coming out. The Dolphins have had to have a players-only meeting ahead of their game against New England.
So Mike McDaniel is now on the hottest seat.
He's on a hot seat, and he's so nonchalant about it.
That chair is on fire.
And it's not because of the Miami sun.
No. And by the way, the Dolphins, what I'm doing right now for Florida, that will likely be happening for the Miami Dolphins because WizKid, I don't think is going to be surviving much longer in South Beach. I don't
know what he does after this, man.
Well, listen, you got a GM right now who's probably freaking out that he's going to get fired. You've got an owner who's impatient, and you got a quarterback right now who's kind of one hit away from possibly just calling it a career. Like, what are you going to do? It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. Just it's not pretty by any means, but yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah, that says something when you're playing the Patriots and already we got to go. Sorry guys, we need to talk. That's pretty pathetic. Can we beat these guys, dude? You're playing Drake May with one wide receiver maybe to trust. Like,
let me say one more thing.
Yeah,
entirety of week 1, and the only second-year quarterback that looked really good was Michael Penix.
Yeah.
Daniels was okay, but it's the Giants. Maybe put up a little bit more points.
Well, we just saw what happens when he plays a really good defense.
J.J. McCarthy, already said about that. Bo Nix, yikes.
Yeah.
Did not look great. Drake May look good for about a quarter.
Yeah.
And then he struggled.
Yeah. By the way, I know we didn't get a chance to talk about it because, last night was their game. The Packers are really good. I don't know.
They might be Super Bowl contenders, and I hate it.
I know. Jerry Jones just gave them the new Reggie White. It's another NFC East team just letting another star get away from their hands that's on the defensive line that will ultimately end up probably helping the Packers win a championship. Just that's fate. That's just fate. That's also Jerry Jones just being a moron. But, it is what it is. I hope he can really use those picks before he's dead. All right. That's going to do it for the show, guys. That's the Pick Six. Thank you all so much for watching and listening, as always, because that's going to do it for our show. We appreciate you guys, as always, for being able to be a part of this. If you guys always want to watch any more, you guys can hit us up at Blue. Oh, my God. I almost did blow the whistle. Because I got to jump over there because we're doing a show over there really quickly. You guys can hit us up as always. We're on YouTube and on Twitch. That's youtube.com/XBombSports and twitch.tv/XBombSports. If you guys want to follow us on any more of the social medias, we're at XBombSports on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok as well. And if you have any questions, comments, things like that, please keep sending them in to xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. We appreciate you guys who asked questions. Again, we know we had more questions, but we will eventually get to those as we can get along throughout the entirety of the year. It's going to be very busy now lately with only having one show. Hopefully, at some point, maybe we can expand a little bit more. We'll see if we can get some more producers in here. By the way, Paul, I would love to be able to promote Scotty to the desk. Unfortunately, our other producer can no longer make it, so he's kind of just stuck there. I apologize, but he's still part of the show all the same. So.
Yo, Paul, you're a legend, bro.
I always said we can get him on here. It's just our other producer, unfortunately, just can't be here to kind of relieve him of his duties. So, but with that being said, too, ladies and gentlemen, make sure Bad Karma Wrestling, they did a great job kind of doing the review for the last couple weeks on WWE and AEW. Check them out every time. They're right here, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time on Bad Karma Wrestling here on YouTube. And, of course, check out their boys at Blow the Whistle. That is, of course, our boys at sportstownchicago.com. They're going live right now. I'm about to jump in there with them after we do a little bit of cleanup on this one. Hopefully they're going to still be going by that point. If not, I hope they did a great show. But make sure to go check them out. They do that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They're going live at around 1 to 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Again, sportstownchicago.com on YouTube. And with that, thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you guys next week. And as always, much love. Peace out, Boom Crew.